Yo, this is by far the best gimbal I have ever used. This thing is so good I had to get two of them. Not because it's smaller or lightweight, but because of the flexibility, the versatility, the usability, and the AI. Let's get into it. Yo, what's up everybody? It is your boy Brandon, and I want to introduce you to the Hohem iSteady MT2 Gimbal. Now, full disclosure, Hohem did not send me this gimbal. They never reached out to me. I've never even talked about them. I never even actually heard about them. I saw a few videos on YouTube and I saw what it could do, and I just knew I had to have it. You know, I haven't been this excited for a product in a very long time, and the reason why I'm so excited about this is the value and what it means for my work as a content creator. And I promise you, by the end of this video, if you are a makeup artist, a hairdresser, a barber, a painter, an entrepreneur of any kind, you need this. This will improve your overall content by far. This is the type of device that will help you improve damn near overnight. It's that good. Now, I've seen several videos on YouTube about this gimbal. So this is going to be a lengthy video, so I'm gonna tell you, get your coffee and everything now, because I'm going to cover so many other things about this gimbal that you have not saw. So you will see why this thing is so incredible. So first, let's get all the technical stuff out the way and let's dive into the details of this amazing gimbal. Hohem iSteady MT2 is a 4-in-1 3-axis gimbal for mirrorless, pocket cameras, action cameras, and smartphones. It is equipped with an AI tracker, unlike any other gimbal that I've ever seen. Now, this gimbal has a magnetic design. It will, trust me, that will revolutionize your filming experience by far. This AI tracker will intelligently follow your movements and keep you perfectly centered in the frame with simple gestures. You can easily control the tracking modes. You can customize the composition. With the Multi 4.0 quick installation system, you can simply remove the camera with the L bracket. You can rotate it 90 degrees and attach it to the 3-axis gimbal to switch it between landscape and portrait mode. There are multiple expansion ports on the outside of the stabilizer. Now, you can add other equipment as you see fit and just shoot creatively. Whether you have a mirrorless, a pocket camera, an action camera, or a smartphone, the all-in-one gimbal stabilizer it's just got you covered all the way around. The gimbal itself, total load capacity is about 2.64 pounds. For a camera like this, it can go up to about 17 hours of ultra long life battery life. It can basically meet your whole day needs of shooting. It has reverse charging capabilities. Now that we got all that other stuff out the way, this thing is so good, I had to get two of them. It's just crazy. Just think of the possibilities. I could have one, you know, tracking me. I could have another one if I wanted to, looking at me with a longer lens to give another view. I could have one of these focused on my model while she's doing her thing. Like, let's get to it. Comes in a box like this. Nice graphics. Pretty cool. Has the pictures on the back. Everything that you can mount on here. Pretty cool. That's the box. So you have this little case that it comes in. It has these little pouches. All right, I'm gonna show you really quick everything that comes in this case. All right, so in this case, one of the first things you get is this package. It has all your cables in it. All right, it even has a list on the back of everything that you got: type A to type C charging, type C to type C charging, type C to micro, everything, type C to 2.5, TRS to TRS. So pay attention to everything that you need. For this video, we're going to be using the A7S III. So for here, I'm going to need, since the ports on the gimbal are both type C, for your charging port and for your camera camera control. Going into the A7S III to charge it is going to go through my Type-C. So I'm going to need a Type-C to Type-C. And through camera control, I'm going to need the Type-C to the micro USB. All right, so those are the cables I already know I need just for you. Find out what cables work for your camera. All right, next you're going to get the AI tracker. All right, you see it has a little LED right here on the side. You can't see it right now. There's an on-off switch right here at the top of it. All right, and then you have your connectors on the back and your 2 magnets. All right, this is for your magnetic. Next, you're gonna have your gimbal. Okay, here it is right here. It does have locking mechanisms on all 3 of the motors. So all 3 of your motors lock. The locks look like this. All right, so when you lock it right there, the other lock is right here on the back. All right, there you go. So you can lock it right there. And then also your other one is right here on the arm. So you can lock all your motors in. Bam, there it is. All right, your AI tracker, as you can see, right there on the side. All right, and if you take it, you can just put it on, then bang, there you go. Magnetic, there it is right there. All right, next you're going to get your stand or whatever, screws into the bottom. All right, and also you can, if you have other stands like this that goes on other gimbals, you can also put other ones on there if you want some bigger legs. The only thing with this is these legs are kind of small compared to my other gimbals that I have, but they are interchangeable. They screw into the quarter thread on the bottom, so if you want to put bigger legs on here for steady stuff, you can. I did notice when I was trying different lenses on my A7S III, like the small 105 2.8 macro or something like that, kind of leaned forward a little bit, but when I changed out the legs in the bottom, it was sturdy. So I'm just letting you know right now, if you want to get different legs and put on there, of course you can. All right, next, so this is your multi-plate right here. So it goes in horizontally just like that. There's a little button right here. You can pull it out, and then you can turn it vertically, and it goes in vertically, right? Just like so. So you can mount your stuff vertically. We're going to go through that also. It also has a little screwdriver thread here also. So on the bottom, when you are extending these for your mirrorless or whatever you're putting on here, you can extend it out, extend it in however far you need it. And then this is magnetic on the top of here. This just goes on the top of here, magnetic. So if you put it down there, it won't come off. All right, so I like that design a lot. A lot of times we lose these things so much, but I'm glad they included this little magnetic screwdriver thing to get in and out of there. All right, so another thing that you get, you also get your Arca Swiss plate that goes on the bottom of your mirrorless, or this goes on the bottom of your GoPro. All right, this will also screw into your GoPro. We're going to get to that also, so you can see how that's mounted also, but this is pretty much all you need. But this is what goes on your plate right here. It just goes in, all right, and then locks, and then good to go. All right, so we're going to get to the levers and all of that stuff. And then for here, this is for your iPhone or your phone, period. This is so you can mount it vertically or horizontally. We're going to go over that setup later also. They also actually include a GoPro mount right here. So here's your GoPro mount. This is the bottom that will go through the plate, and then there's also another thumb screw right here. Now, if you already have one of these on your GoPro, all right, you do not need to use this. All right, I've already mounted my GoPro to this. This is something extra. So if you already have just a regular GoPro mount that has the quarter screw right on the bottom that screws into your plate, just like this, just like so. All right, you don't need to put another, you don't actually need to use that. If you already have it, you're great. If you want to go ahead and use what's included, be my guest. I don't care, but you don't need it. All right, I'm gonna show you how that goes later. But that's pretty much everything that you get with this gimbal. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with the gimbal itself. All right, so every detail about this gimbal, we're gonna start from the top and we're gonna work our way down. All right, so right over here, as you saw before, your AI tracker goes right here on the right side of the gimbal. Right here is magnetic, so when you put it in there, you just throw it in there, it'll go right in there. All right, you have a thumb screw right here to tighten up the axis right here. You have one on the back to tighten up the axis on the back right here. All right, and then you also have one right here. They're all identified with the orange, which I think is great. I'm glad it wasn't like black like a lot of them and you can't really see it. So all of them are identified by the orange color. You also have your rotating wheel right here. This will turn on and off your AI tracker, the RGB or the CCT color on it. So that's how you would operate this also. That's what I use it for. I actually like it, and I'm going to tell you, it's not really about the lighting your subject per se. If you're in a really dark area, it will work, but I'm going to show you something else that this thing can do amazingly well at, that might be beneficial to you, especially if you do product photography. All right, I'm going to show you that also. This is amazing for doing time-lapse. I love the design because it's like so user-friendly. It's so easy to go to motion. Like a lot of times, like my Text and other cameras, I will have to go through the menus and set everything up. No, not on here. You just turn it to where you want to. You press A, turn it over there, you press B, and then you go back and hit the button and it goes. I love that design, man. On the front here, you have your little LCD screen right here. I haven't taken it off, but we're going to go through that later. You have your joystick that's going to allow you to pan up, pan down, pan to the sides also. Right here you have your zoom lever or shutter button. All right, so this will allow you to kind of zoom in and zoom out, and also this is how you press your shutter. If you have your phone connected to the gimbal, you will use this to, you know, go to your shutter real quick. All right, turning over here. All right, there we go. You will have a quarter screw right here. This is also how you would charge this through USB-C right here. This is your power button, so long press this to turn on your power. On the bottom here, this is how you would put this thing in selfie mode. This is how you would go basically to return the home, if you will, to get it right back in the normal position that it's supposed to be. So this is your trigger right here. This is what you would this is your double tap trigger. This is your trigger right here on the back. All right, and then again, as I said earlier, these are your motor locks right here. 1, 2, and 3 is on this side. So and a lot of different things. Like, man, there's so much to uncover with this thing, so I'm gonna do my best to cover all details about this thing. So a lot to uncover. Let's go. Now, the lens I'm using is the G Master 24mm 1.4, and I also have a variable ND filter on here, but I'm gonna go ahead and take that off for the purpose of this video. All right, so now I can't really tell you the weight of this because I don't have a scale and I haven't weighed it, but it has a good weight to it. This is the lens that I always use with all my videos. So let's go ahead and mount this bad boy and get to some of the details. So we're going to put this together just like if you would get it. All right, I'm going to go through the details for you. Now, the only thing is I've already put on the base plate for you, the Oracle Swiss plate. Now, I will tell you, if you have a Sony camera or anything, I will tell you that you need to pull this all the way up to as far as you can go on the lens. All right, you're going to need all of that room because it is a smaller gimbal. You need to make sure that this is as far up on the lens as possible. All right, make sure it's nice and tight. All right, now here is the bracket. All right, here's your L bracket that we're going to use. So if you put this on here, all right, mine is already configured, all right, because I know exactly how much room I needed for my A7S III. But as you can see, there it is right there. Kind of shows you exactly what the room is, and then I have the screws at the bottom already tightened in. All right, they're nice and tight. Bam. All right, here we go. Okay, so we're going to take this, slide it right on in there. Bam, perfectly. All right, and then there is a lever right here on the front. All right, as you can see, this lever. So there's two levers on here. One will tighten up the actual gimbal. All right, the other one tightens up the mount, the base plate. All right, so you got to make sure that both of those are tightened. My first thing to do is tell you, if you're balancing this, take off the AI tracker. All right, it's really light, it doesn't hold any weight or anything, but take off the AI tracker. All right, bam. All right, so going through the menu here, you got pan follow, then you got pan tilt follow. All right, press it again, it comes to all lock. So then you have all follow POV, which means like if you tilt it up, it's going to tilt up, tilt it down, it's going to tilt down, everything. And then if you press it again, you're back to pan follow. Now if you hold the trigger, that puts you in sport mode. It turns to an S, and that means you're in sport mode. But you have to hold the trigger in front, and it's going to move much faster. So when you want to get those crazy shots, it's almost like you're hand holding, but it's going to move much faster, and you can move with it. And then there is another mode called Inception mode. In order to get to Inception mode, you have to hit the M button 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So Inception mode is where it will automatically go to like flashlight mode. It's called flashlight on some other cameras. And then it automatically just spins. All right. I don't remember how many rotations it actually does, but I think it actually keeps doing it until you actually stop it. All right. To get out of Inception mode, you can either hit the trigger twice, or you could have hit the M button 3 times. All right. Now, I will tell you, with the A7S III and the G Master, it's too heavy to do Inception mode. So if I was to hold it actually in flashlight mode, or a flashlight to do Inception mode while it was doing its revolutions, it wouldn't do it, because trying to turn this thing over is just too heavy. All right. So you got to get a lighter setup if you want to do Inception mode. All right. This won't do it. Now, if you wanted to put this in vertical mode, pretty simple. All right. The only thing that you would have to do is unlock the actual L bracket from the gimbal, which is your far lever on this side. So I will unhook that. It will come out, and then you would have to hit the button right here on the front, right there. So it will slide out just like that. All right. Now, unbalance. We're gonna put it back on here. Yeah, and then it's gonna give you an error when you're doing that. All right. So when you do that, I will tell you right now that you will have to rebalance this. I would not use this setup in vertical mode, all right, because this is too heavy. If I use a smaller lens, I don't think I would have any problems. But it is definitely a lot harder, and I've tried this with other lenses and stuff. It's a lot harder to balance this in vertical mode, unless I use another lens. If I use another lens like my 35-2 or the 24-1.8 or even the 20mm 1.8, it will balance a whole lot better in vertical mode. This is definitely a heavy setup for vertical mode, just for vertical mode. All right. You can actually, without going into your app, you can actually adjust the strength of your motors. If you just hold the M button, it's going to come up and it's going to show you tilt, roll, and pan and auto. So if you wanted to automatically adjust to the motors, to the weight and everything that's down here, if you just take your finger on your joystick and go down to auto and then press the M button, there you go. So it just calibrated the weight and the intensity for the motors just by that one. If you need to adjust it manually, then you can go to tilt, you can go to pan, and you can actually go to roll and adjust the intensity of each one individually also. So I think that was really cool, and it's really easy to get to. You just hold the M, and then to get out of that menu, you just hold M again, and it will take you back to the menu system here. Next, we are going to I'm going to show you how to do the point A to point B, kind of like your time lapse buttons right here. So basically it's really easy, and I love this feature because it's just right there in your face, you know. So the first thing you want to do is that you want to set your A. All right, so if I wanted to set my A, I would just say I wanted to go right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to long press the A button. Okay, you're going to hear that beep. That means that your A control point is set. Then you're going to go to, I want that to be B. You're going to long press your B button. All right, that means your B is set. Now, if you press A again, it's going to take you to point A. All right, and then what you have to do is you have to press B 2 times. That means it's going to take you to your B point. Oh, it's going. So on your controller, on your LCD, you're going to be able to see that it has your point, and it's going to be right now. It's actually showing you on the LCD that it's moving to your B point. So that means that it stopped at my B point. Now, if I wanted to go back to A, all I have to do is double press A. Now the gimbal is showing you that it's tracking back to whatever point you set for A, which is pretty dope. So until you actually turn this gimbal off, it will reset it. Otherwise, those points are going to be in there until you actually reset or turn off your gimbal. The rotating knob that I talked to you about before on this side is how you control the color, the RGB, and the CCT, the color temperature on the AI tracker. All right, so if we hold it, all right, if we hold it, it's going to go ahead and power on. Now on your LCD, you can see the intensity or how bright it is. You can adjust your brightness and the temperature, all right, the Kelvin. So right now, if I turn the wheel up, right now is on just my brightness. So if I turn the wheel up, it goes up to about 100%. Turn it down, it is going down to 0. All right, this is just adjusting the brightness. If I wanted to adjust the Kelvin, you have to hit the circle, tap it in one time. All right, and this, you're going to see the arrow is going to take you down to the Kelvin temperatures. All right, and then you can adjust those wherever you want it. So you can adjust it up. It goes as low as 2700K, and then it goes as high as 6500K. So from 2700K up to 6500K, and then wherever in that color temperature you want to adjust that brightness, you just hit it again to take you to the brightness, and then you can adjust the brightness for that specific color temperature. All right. Now, in order to get to the colors, you press that button 3 times on the back of our LCD. So right now we are adjusting the RGB colors, and it's going to tell you on the back the number of that specific color as you continue to dial through the RGB colors. Now, if you hit it one time, it's going to take you down to adjust the brightness of that specific RGB color. So if I scroll up and keep going up, it's going to go up to 100%. Go down, is going to take me down to 0, of course. And if I hit it one time again, it's going to take me through more RGB colors. Now, where I think this is really cool at, I'm going to put it back in color temperature. All right, if you had a product on something and you was giving it light or whatever, and you wanted to add a little bit more light or a little bit of color to it, you could use the A point to start it. And then you could go over and mark your B. And then you could go back to your A point with your light on or your color. And then you could go ahead and shoot it. And that light on there could add just a little bit of light, a little bit of feel, even just, you know, some type of creativity to it. But I thought it was really cool, and I actually did it in a dark room where I had it right here, and it was going past really slow. But again, don't expect this thing to give a huge amount of light, especially if it's already bright out. So on the back of the gimbal, you have at the top, you have your charging port, you're charging out, and you also have your camera control. I will tell you, so check it out. On the A7S III, again, if I wanted to do camera control, I would have to plug in this port right here. Now, it will also has a tag on here. It tells you Type C multi. All right, so this goes to the multi port in the A7S III if you wanted to give it camera control. So if I take the Type C area goes into the Type C on here. All right, and then this cord will go around to my multi port. Now, and then this brings me to my first problem, not really a problem, but my first thing that I don't like with this setup. I feel like these cords are way too small. As you can see, even though they are have the little bungee type, I mean, even if I try to throw it up here or throw it down here, it's kind of getting in the way. All right, so as you can see right here, this right angle, it goes up almost over the charging part. So one thing that I found is that if I wanted to use this cable, which is Type C to Type C, I would use this to charge my camera. But in order for me to do that, I can't really do that because I can't put 2 right angles in here. You can't do that, and it won't work. So you can try another cable for charging to see if that works, but you need the multi-port. And that was one of the biggest problems. And I will tell you, I tried about 10 different Type-C to USB micro for the multi-port, and none of them worked. Not one. I bought about 10 different cables for the multi-port. So if you guys have access to or know a cable that will work from Type-C to your multi-port in your camera and actually give it the functionality for the gimbal, let me know in the comments, please. Now the one that comes with it definitely works. I can stop, I can record, I can resume, I can zoom with this cable that comes with it. But you can't use the multi-port and charge it at the same time. That's what I'm telling you. Bam. So there you go. That's what it looks like. Boom. Really easy, small, compact, everything. I absolutely love it. So let's go ahead and go outside and do some other testing. Some quick stuff here. So guys, as you can see, the gimbal, I got my A7S III up there. So as you can see, it's not following me right now. So what I have to do, when you want this thing to follow, you have to put up the OK sign, all right? Like this. All right. So what happened is the light on the AI tracker will turn green, and that means that it is now follow me, which I think is going to be incredible as a content creator, man, because now I'm going to be able to kind of deliver you some things, even when I'm actually doing a photo shoot. And, you know, those times where I don't have nobody, at least now my camera can follow me and do what I needed to do. Now, here's the thing, guys. A lot of times when you start this gimbal, you're kind of going to see that you're not really lined up the way that you should be. You got to remember, the AI tracker is on this side and the camera lens is right here. So in order to really get it lined up like you want to, I would say before you even start doing anything you want to, you need to frame it properly. So in order to frame it, I'm going to give it the OK sign. It's going to go ahead and start following me, but I can see it pointing down. I can see it's kind of not lined up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it the frame symbol. All right, this is the frame symbol. So give it the frame symbol, and the AI tracker is going to start blinking. All right, it's waiting for you. So if I come up here, if I say I kind of like want it up here, but what you have to do is you kind of have to adjust it yourself. All right, so once you reframe it to where you want to, you give it the frame sign again, and now it is framed exactly where I want it to. Now the good thing about this is if you actually go off or you turn something off, it'll actually go back to the last time or the last frame that you gave it. I didn't know that. So if I do anything where I actually like stop it or whatever and it's not doing anything, when it starts back up, it's gonna go back to that same exact frame that I want it to. So if it can see me over here, it is. So it's not gonna go down, it's gonna go back to that exact frame that I had it at last time, which is absolutely cool. So as I'm talking and as I'm walking, I'm gonna tell you why this is so dope for content creators, man. Being able to do that and not be in a static area, not having to just stand in one area and try to still kind of give a little bit of movement to what you're doing is absolutely great. Now you're going to have those people out there who's going to be like, well, if you just put it in Final Cut Pro or you put it in DaVinci Resolve, you can add like the little camera shake and all of that. Yeah, great. But at the same time, why do I need to do that when I already have the camera where I can do it actually in camera? It's the same with off-camera flash. It's the same as using the black dish. It's the same with everything else. Why would I have to do all that in post when I can do it right there in camera? All right. And that's what I love about this gimbal. That's why it is a beast. I absolutely love it. And I can do this with my phone. I can do it with a GoPro. And that's the reason why I bought two of them. I can put one on the side of it while it's tracking me to get another angle. I can have another one doing something. I can even have another person recording. But it's so many possibilities that I could do with this thing. So again, if you want to stop the gimbal from moving, you want to just stop it completely, you put your hand up, your palm up like stop. Like so. And then as you can see, it won't follow me no more. All right. So you come back in frame, you give it the OK sign, and it'll start following you again. It's seamless. I absolutely love it. So let's see how far this thing can actually find me. I'm gonna go side to side to show you that it's tracking me, but we're gonna try to see 50 feet, but
I'll give you the actual numbers in there. But another thing you got to remember is that it needs light. So if you're trying to do this in like nighttime or in a dark area and you're trying to track, you're going to have a whole lot of difficulty with this thing trying to track you at nighttime. All right, the best time for this thing to work is when it's nice out, when it's day night, even golden hour. But as long as you have enough light and the AI can see you, you shouldn't really have any problems. But as you can see, I'm stepping back a little bit. See right here, I'm probably about 12 feet away. So another 12 feet, 24, 36, you know, I'm right here. So as you can see, he can still see me. I still see you, bruh. I still see you. Yeah, I got you. I got you. He still see me. You know, and I gotta be cognizant of this when I'm actually doing photo shoots too, to find out how close or how far I need my gimbals. So as the sun is kind of peeping a little bit more. So let me see. Are you still following me? Oh, he's still following me a little bit. But you see, it's kind of hesitant. It's like he sees me, but then he don't see me. It picks up, but then it don't pick up. I see the red light up there right now. Yeah, and he completely lost me right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and come back in frame. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can give him the okay sign from back here. Nope. He said that ain't happening, bruh. Come on up here. Yeah, he got me now. All right. So this is just a few tests that I'm doing with you. But again, this kind of gives you a understanding of actually how far you need to be for this thing to track you good and for it to kind of like stutter or be hesitant in tracking you.
All right, guys. So now that we have covered about everything that we need to cover with the mirrorless camera, now I'm going to show you how to mount a cell phone both horizontally and vertically and go through the menu system just a little bit, because there's a lot to it. I'm not going to go through the whole entire menu system, but I just want to show you quickly how to mount the phone and also do some like object tracking and show you how that goes. All right, so this is the 13 Pro Max, and as you can see, it has a bumper case on it. You can still fit this in the mobile Arca Swiss plate mount L bracket that they give you. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is you want to take this is your mobile phone Arca Swiss plate right here. Has the Arca Swiss plate design at the bottom, and then the top, it just extends out. What you want to do is you want to take this and you're going to put it in your L bracket. Let me move this up. Basically, what I like to do is, since you're going to be recording, like I said, you can set this up for if you're going to be recording yourself or if you're actually going to be out there actually recording other stuff. So right now we're going to set it up like you're recording like other stuff. So in that case, we want to make sure the cameras on the mobile phone are facing outward. All right. So in that case, we're going to go ahead and put the mobile phone inserted this way. Now you can turn the phone around so that the port is on the outside. So if you want to connect like some type of wireless microphone system or something, you want this facing outwards. All right, but you still want your cameras facing that way. So just for the sake of this video, I'm going to face the port on the phone inward because I'm not hooking up anything to the port on the bottom of the phone. All right, so we're going to go ahead and throw this in here. It's like so. All right, and just like that. So now you're going to balance it just like you would anything else. All right, the reason I love this gimbal, especially because you can balance your mirrorless cameras and everything, mounting a phone or a GoPro is so easy because the balancing is just seamless on it. Is amazing. So as you can see, I've already put it on here and perfectly balanced, perfect balance, boy. All right, then we're gonna go ahead and turn on our gimbal. And I like this because a lot of mobile phone gimbals, like when you press it down like this, they're not sturdy. This thing is just crazy nice, man. I love it, especially for a mobile phone. Absolutely insane. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to mount it vertically. Remember, you have this one lever and then you have a button right here. Comes off, turn it up, put it in, close your lever. And again, we're gonna have to balance just a little bit here. All right, so this is mounted vertically now. Bam, up and down, boom, boom, boom. Look at that. Love it, love it, love it. first thing you have to do is download the Hohem Joy app. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and record my screen for you here. Bam. All right, so I've already have it downloaded on my phone. So you want to go into the Hohem Joy app. All right, it's going to look like so right there. All right, and then what you want to do is you want to go down to this little orange icon right in the middle. Now, if you what's going to happen is if your gimbal is off, it's going to search for a Bluetooth connection. All right, so I highly recommend either you have something in your gimbal already, because if you turn it on, the motors are going to go crazy. It's going to, when it's searching for a Bluetooth connection, you don't actually have to connect it to the gimbal. You can actually operate the app and everything without the gimbal. So I'm going to show you a few things on the app before we actually put it in the gimbal. So we're going to go ahead and start connecting, start the connection without the gimbal. So now what you see here is the app. All right, so first of all, at the bottom you have your moments. Moments is like a bunch of templates that you can use that will throw effects and things on your video as you're recording. Then you have your video app, and then you have photo, you have panoramic, time lapse, you also have slow motion. All right, so I'm just going to show you video real quick. So if you go to the video app, under video, on the left hand side, starting on the left hand side here, you got your flip, which is going to flip it around to you, hi, or flip it back. You can then adjust your resolution. Right now it's set on 1030. You can do 4K 60, 1080p 30, and 720, whatever you want to do. Is your button for face tracking or object tracking. All right, and that's where you do that at right here. Once you click on it, the middle button with the little square is going to be object tracking. The top button is going to be face tracking. All right, I'm going to show you that here in just a second. Then you have your settings at the bottom. On the top right over here, you can also control your gimbal and use this as a joystick. You can use this as a motion controller. Also, you can use your phone also to control your gimbal. You also have beauty over here, enable beauty. You can kind of like slim the face down, slim the eyes, or open up the eyes a little bit. And then you also have a few filters that you can put on here on top of your video if you want to. To use the hand gestures, you have to turn on this little hand right here. It's called hand gestures right there. And then basically what happens is if you want to record or if you want to stop, you have to use, like it says, the V, which is just basically like the peace sign. So if you're in video mode, to start recording video, you got to do the peace sign. It'll start recording you. To stop the video, you have to put your hands up or put the hand stop up. It'll stop recording you. The same thing goes for photo mode. If you're trying to take a photo, you have to use the hand gesture or the V sign to take the picture. You can also put on your self timer, all right, to help you out with that. And then the play down here is just telling you if you have any photos or videos or anything in here. So in the app, I'm going to show you object tracking. So for example, we have this 12 to 24 millimeter 2.8 G Master here, this $3,000 lens. All right, so we're going to object track this with this lens. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go down. Now that I have it in focus, what we're going to do is we're going to hit on the left hand side where the little person is with the little square around them. You're going to hit that, but then in the middle we're going to go to that little square. It looks like a little object. All right, now once you click on that, what you're going to do is you're going to take your finger and you're going to draw a box around the item that you want to subject track or what you want to track. All right, so I'm going to draw like a little blocks around that little thing there, and then as you can see, it's going to take off. So if I move this, is going to follow it, and as you can see, there's a little green box around the lens there, but in the top right hand corner there's an X. So when you want to stop subject tracking this this lens or whatever item that you have, you're supposed to press that little X button. All right, and this is how you kind of like subject track something. Now I can leave it there, and then I can just use the gimbal if I want to. And as you can see, it's just going to follow. I'm not doing nothing. My hands are way down here. All right. So there you go. And that's object tracking. Now you can also use face tracking. Also, you can't have face tracking on or subject tracking on if you try to use the AI sensor on the front. All right. So you got to kind of pick which one you're going to do. All right. So I'm going to turn the camera around. and now it's facing me a little bit. I'm trying to get it in the frame. There you go. So it's facing me a little bit. Now I'm going to turn on face tracking. Bam. And as you can see, there's a green box that appears around my face. And if I go to the left, if I go to the right, now this is not the AI. As you can see, the AI is over here. All right. I'm just using the rear screen right now. I'm sorry, or the front facing screen right now, basically to track me. Now, if I want to record a video, if I want to hit record, all I would do is say peace. In order to record yourself or do anything, you have to make sure that the hand gesture icon is selected. All right. So top right, you got to make sure that hand gesture icon is selected. Now we have face tracking on and we have the hand gesture on. So I'm going to go ahead and say peace like this. Oh, it's on this side. Sorry. There we go. Now, as you can see, there's a timer in the top and it start. Now it's recording me. Now it's just doing everything. And you can also do this with the other camera also. All right. Kind of like doing it like this because I can actually see everything and make sure it's recording. There's no identification on the other side. But that was recording. Now, if I wanted to stop the recording, I would just say stop. And there you go. And then it saves it to your camera roll also, or saves it actually in the app. And then you can take the video from the app and put it in the camera roll. Same thing with photo. If I go ahead and switch this to photo. Right. Now we're in photo. And then again, gestures on. Turn on face tracking again. Now it's tracking. Now you can go into your settings over here. And then I can go to timer, which is set to 5 seconds right now. Right. And then I can go ahead and do this. So now we have our GoPro right here. This is the GoPro 9 whatever, Hero Black, something that I use on a lot of my videos. So this is our Arc Swiss plate that's normally on the bottom of our camera, on our mirrorless camera. So take this off the bottom of my camera and I'm just going to screw this into a GoPro mount that I already had on here. I'm not using the one that's included. Again, I don't think it really matters. You know, they both go do the same thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it long ways, just like so. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and slide it in here. All right, now, bam. Got your GoPro on here now. Boom. All right, let's check our balance. Look at that. You go from a GoPro to a cell phone to a mirrorless camera. Bam, 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 bam. And if you want to use the AI feature, you can just do your AI will follow you easily, no problem with that. If you want to go vertical mode, you take out the plate here, slide it on in here like so, you know, adjust how you want it. Man, I definitely think it's something that everybody probably should have. If you're a content creator, man, like this thing is absolutely incredible. I had to get 2 of them because that means I can have one facing me, I can have one facing the model, I can have one looking at me from another angle with a little bit of a longer lens. And I just think it works out great, man. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And I'm definitely gonna be using this for a whole lot of content creation, man. Just the mere fact of what you can do with it is pretty dope. All right, it's your boy Brandon. I'll talk to you later. I'm out.